All right, now we're gonna move to the outside of the Forest River Flagstaff camper, pop-up camper that I'm doing instructions on. Looking at the front here, so the ball and hitch setup, you gotta pull this pin out right here. There's a little cotter pin. Take that out, and then you'll be able to open it up, put the ball, line it up with the ball on your vehicle, drop it in, and then pop it back down, lock it in place. All right. So this is the open position. This is when it's being taken off or being dropped on, and then locked is down. That's when you're locking it onto the ball and putting it in place permanently. This pin would be pulled out and pushed back in when locked in place. All right, next, so this is going to raise and lower the height right here. This works on just a crank, so just spinning it. This will raise and lower it. Down here, this crank arm is what raises and lowers the top of the camper. It works with a cable system that you can see right there. So as you release it, it's gonna start to release the tension on that line, and you'll be able to lower the top. Make sure when lowering the top, you do it after you have drop the canvas using the bar inside. You've put all these bars up underneath the mattress. You've pulled the canvas up around the edges, pushed the canvas in along there. You've unfolded each of these corners, and on two of the corners, you have stabilizer bars in case the cable were to break so that it doesn't fall down on anybody. So make sure these get pulled off. Simply pull on them. Hard to do with the one hand here. Like so. Well, I'll have to demonstrate that later when I have two hands. But you get the point there. It just pops out and slides out. It's pretty easy. Once you've done that, you can crank it down. And as you're cranking it down, watch around the edges and make sure that all the canvas is tucked in. Around the other side, this was access to the water heater. This is to the refrigerator. So some things about the refrigerator here. So twist and pop. Let's see, so it runs on either 120 volt, which I currently have running out of that line right there. 12 volt, which is to the battery that I don't have currently hooked up, but do have available. You have your thermostat back here. I have it set on about a 5 out of 7 for cooling temperature to prepare it for camp tomorrow. And then this is for your propane. So you would push down, set it to high, meanwhile depressing this igniter, or feel free to ignite using a long lighter in the hatch door there. If you slide this back, so cover it when it's lit, and then once you light it, if you look at this angle right where I'm at, right through here, you'll see the little blue flame. Okay, that's about it for that, other than only use one power source at a time to cool the refrigerator, and make sure that when you're stopped that the camper is level before you turn it on with power. While you're moving, it's not a big deal, and that's all in the instruction manual. This is the port to put water in. If you're at a site that provides water, you just throw the regulator that I have on and then connect it so that you don't get a big surge of water and blow any of the lines. And then this is the port to release water. So as your sink, shower, drain, it would come out here. I've got a small hose attached to that, drops down into a bucket. Don't just drain your dirty water onto the ground, that's frowned upon. This is an exhaust port for your heat. So like I said, inside the camper, it is a heated camper, so this would be an exhaust port. This is a lead into the water reservoir that's underneath the camper. You can see that right here, this white tank. Here's your electrical line. All right, back here, same thing. a couple of poles. You got your spare tire. These will come off when you go to break it down. And last two things I wanted to show are, first, this is a gas port. So underneath here, you see you have a gas line, and you've got the on-off valve here. This is so you can hook up the barbecue grill that comes with it. There's a special grill that attaches to this rail right here. It also has a table inside that attaches, so you slide the table on first, shaped like an L, and then you put the grill on this rail, and then the line will attach to it. The last thing I wanted to show you is, once you get the camper level, these stabilizer legs do a lot of good work. So how they work is they sit in this little notch here, and they're kind of spring loaded. Just pull them out and then drop it, and it'll fall into this new notch. And then to bring them down to the ground, just push. And then if you want to put a little weight underneath the camper with your back or your shoulder, just kind of push on it. You can see how it was lifting that leg just a little bit, and give it an extra push, and that'll really stabilize it. That's a big deal for when you want to set up so that the camper doesn't wobble. All right, that's it for the exterior.